So where we were discussing previously about the useful ways of leading a happy life. We have completed the first chapter. In today's video, we are going to start the second chapter. So here we are. Bismillah. Let's start chapter number 2. If you have not seen the thumbnail of this video, you can watch this. This is the title of today's topic, and we are reading the chapter number 2. Okay, Bismillah. Let's start. Among the means of warding off anxieties arising out of nervousness and the preoccupation of the heart with some sorrowful things, occupying oneself with one activity or another, or with some useful knowledge. This is because doing that will distract the heart away from being immersed in its anxieties. It might even make him forget the things that caused him grief and worry, and he may even experience some happiness and become cheerful. This is also something that is common between both the believer and the non-believer. But the believer is different because when he occupies himself with the knowledge that he is seeking or giving, or with the good action he is doing, whether it can be an act of worship or a worldly act in which he has a good intention of doing it, to seek strength in worshipping Allah, when he does that, he does it out of his belief in Allah, sincerity, and seeking the pleasure of Allah. This in itself has the traditional effect of warding off grief, worries, and anxieties by a divine intervention. We have seen many people afflicted with sorrows and permanent anxieties to the extent of making them very ill. Their only cure was to make themselves forget the cause of their sorrow and misery, and being preoccupied with their normal activities. The activity to be preoccupied with should be something pleasing to the self, and one that it yearns for. This makes it more effective in achieving the desired goal, and all knowledge is with Allah. Among the things that ward off worry and anxiety is concentrate that one's attention and concern oneself with the affairs of the present, and to stop being anxious about the future or grieving over the past. This is why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings be of Allah be on him, sought refuge in Allah from anxiety and grief. Grief is usually over past events that you can neither bring back nor rectify. Anxiety is usually fear and concern over what will come in the future. Therefore, a person should be the son of the moment, concentrating his energy and attention in the betterment of his existing events and his present moments. Concentrating attentions over the affairs of the moment is necessary cause of their accomplishment, and it is what gets rid of the grief and anxiety from the heart. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings of Allah be on him, asks something from Allah or guides his community to ask a specific, Tabao is mentioned in the hadith reported by Bukhari and Muslim. Okay, to ask a specific thing from Allah, and he is exhorting them that together with seeking help from Allah and having hope in his favor, at the same time they have to work hard and earnestly for the accomplishment of what they asked, or the removal of what they asked to be removed from them. Therefore, making dua, asking something from Allah, should go side by side with action. So the slave strives from what will benefit him in his religion and his worldly life, and he asks his Lord to make him accomplish his need, and he seeks his help in that. As the Prophet ﷺ, peace and blessings of Allah be on him, said, strive for what will benefit you and seek the help of Allah, and incapacitated do not be incapacitated, and if something afflicts you, do not say, if I had done such and such would have happened, but say, this is the decree of Allah, He does what He wills. This is because opens if opens the act of shaitan. Muslim reported it. In this hadith, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be on him, exhorts us to join between two things. The first is to strive for useful things in all situations and seek help of Allah, and not to yield and surrender ourselves to incapacity, because that is harmful negligence. The second is to surrender to Allah over past events that have passed and witnessed in them the decree of Allah and His predestination. We see that the Prophet ﷺ, peace and blessings of Allah be on him, has delineated two categories of affairs. The first category is affairs that the slave has the ability to accomplish that totally or partially, or those that he can avoid completely or at least lighten their burden. For this category, the slave should exert his utmost and seek the help of his deity. The second category is those affairs over which the slave has no power. For this, the slave should calm himself and accept what came to him and surrender to Allah. There is no doubt that this is a principle complying with which a definite means of achieving happiness and keeping worry and grief at bay. So we have completed chapter 2 here. So this is the chapter 3. We will continue in the next live. I thank you very much all for watching the video. So this book is written by the author is Shaikh Abdurrahman bin Nasir Al-Sady. Jazakallahu khairan wa ahsanal jaza fi dunya wal akhirah. Assalamu alaikum.